quick. It's been a while since I've sat down and done a video like this. So I'm excited to do this. I hope you're excited. This is gonna be a great video. It's been a while since I've drawn something and I feel like I need to. I've been working on lots of different projects over the past couple of months, and they have all taken me so long. Some of them I'm still working on, and then I've also been starting new ones, and yeah, it's kind of like this whole thing, but I just really needed to sit down and draw something today, so we're gonna do that. I am gonna be doing digital art, and I know I have been doing lots of digital art recently, but my sketchbook, I will draw on that soon, just not in this video. So yeah, but for today's video, I'm going to be drawing my characters if they were going to a masquerade ball. I'm super excited. I hope you're excited. So let's get into it. Okay, starting off strong, we've got our favorite dragon girl, Farah. And honestly, I had no plan going into this one. I kind of just went for it. The pose itself was super fun to do. I really wanted to capture personality as best as I could, so I went for an elegant, hand-on-head, very dramatic look, and I think it suits Farah very well. And I actually freehanded them this time, which I was really proud of myself for how they turned out. For her outfit, I wanted something totally opposite from her old one, because her original look was all torn and rugged, like she'd been living in a cave her whole life, which is fair because she has. So I gave her some long flowy sleeves and a layered skirt that makes her look more elegant. The skirt has 2 layers and a bit of tulle peeking out from the bottom, which I love. I also added some fishnet tights for a bit of edge. The original Farah design had a lot of bone motifs, so I brought that back in her corset as boning details and carried that design down the sides of her dress. Also, can we talk about those boots? They're my absolute favorite part. I feel like I don't talk about it enough, but I love drawing fancy shoes. For her hair, I wanted to keep it mostly down but still classy, so I went with a half up, half down bun and made it super wavy. The mask was tricky, but I also added that bone detailing again, almost as if it was like dripping off the mask, and I think it works really well. Then I went in and added like a lace-like pattern to the bottom half of her skirt for extra detail. I really pulled the whole elegant look together, even though it was tedious to draw. Next up was the outlining. Cleaned up the whole sketch to prep it for color, and yeah, I had to outline all that lace. Again, my wrists were screaming at me, but it turned out okay in the end. Also, the moment when I decided to slightly turn one of her wings inwards, show a bit more movement, and honestly, I love how it looks. Definitely helps with the symmetry. Then came the coloring. I started with her skin tone as a base, and then built up a lot of shading to kind of give it that semi-realistic look, which I think is pretty close. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. And my favorite part about the coloring process was definitely the hair and the wings, because I got to experiment with lots of reds, blacks, and browns, which I don't use that often actually. And it just ended up pulling the whole design together. For the dress, I pulled colors from her original outfit, which has reds, and then that gray cream, and then I shaded everything to give it depth. Then I added lots of gold detailing, mainly to like the little bones on her dress, and then that little spike on her wing. The gold is just chef's kiss. After that, I focused on final shading and lighting, and then I moved on to the background. I had a couple of ideas. First was like a curved staircase, which looked cool in my head but didn't quite fit the character. Then I tried a balcony scene, which still wasn't feeling it, so finally I decided to go with a haunted forest setting, and it complemented her and her character design so perfectly. I messed around with lots of different like colors and stuff like that, added some chains around the oval frame for a little extra flair, and with that, Farah's masquerade drawing was complete. Next up we have Lunar! Now, this drawing you're seeing on the screen right now, this was my first attempt, but I ended up not liking it. It was kind of giving more Cinderella than Lunar, if you know what I mean, so I decided to start over. I brainstormed a couple of ideas because Lunar is definitely the Disney princess of the group. She's kind, elegant, and also super powerful, so I wanted to give her like this big poofy ball gown, but I wasn't totally sure how to make it look right. And that first version, yeah, it wasn't doing it for me. So for the new one, I adjusted her pose a bit, still had her holding up her dress, but I added a lot more layers to really sell the dramatic royal look. And honestly, I wasn't sure how to draw that, but hey, I'm still learning, okay? Ended up looking way better, and I'm really glad I redid it. As for the neckline, I went for an off-the-shoulder style again. It's kind of becoming my favorite thing for this project, not gonna lie. I added ruffles and just leaned into making it look fancy. I tried adding some lace shoulder caps at one point, but it didn't work out. I was definitely trying a bit too hard at that moment. Then I added some pearl details because the original Lunar has those pearl bracelets, and I feel like pearls are just her thing. Elegant, timeless, and soft, just like her personality. And the shoes. Oh my gosh, the shoes. I've said it before, but shoes are so fun to draw, so I gave her these really cute lace-up boots because she's not really a high heel kind of person. Lunar's all about comfort and practicality, but make it stylish. While I was working on this one, I actually feel like I got to know her character way more. And honestly, I came to the conclusion that she's the one who would totally get drunk on champagne at the royal ball. Just putting that out there. As for her hair, I went with this adorable bun style. I tried the half up, half down thing again, but it just didn't suit her. This bun fits her personality way better. Classy, but still fun. From here, I went through pretty much the same process as I did for Farah. Outlining, coloring, shading. But Lunar's hair was so much fun. It's so colorful, and it kind of reminds me of cotton candy because of all the soft pinks and blues. For her dress, I chose this nice, deep purple color inspired by the jacket from her original design. I added a bunch of shading and this sort of glowing effect because she's part alien. It had to look a little otherworldly, right? Her boots, I made a soft cream color like her shirt to keep things balanced. And for the background, this one was no-brainer. Lunar's from space, so of course I had to do something cosmic. I drew 2 planets, which for some reason took forever. I don't know why, they're just 2 little planets. Anyways, I added some stars, a bit of glowing light, and wrapped the whole thing up with pearls around the frame to tie it back to her theme. And with that, Lunar's Masquerade character was done. Okay, next up is May, and let me just say, I struggled with this one. Like, seriously, this drawing gave me a tough time from start to finish. So we all know May. She's a total mood. She's stubborn, serious, sarcastic, and doesn't take nonsense from anyone. And of course, she's got that iconic robotic arm. She's also my original OC, so I really wanted to get her right. So for this sketch, I went with this kind of power stance. She's holding her gun with one hand on her hip. It's giving total attitude. That sassy, confident energy is so her. And one thing I really wanted to emphasize this time around was her body type. Unlike some of my other characters, May has a curvy, athletic build, strong but balanced, and I really wanted that to come through in this drawing. As I was drawing this, I kept looking at it like, this isn't May. The pose felt stiff, the face wasn't working, the hair just wasn't cooperating. So what did I do? I started over, completely. This time I gave her a new pose. She's sitting, kind of slouched, like she's at some fancy party she doesn't want to attend. It's like the, I'd rather be at home right now face. That's exactly what I wanted. I still wanted to keep her design minimalistic because that fits her personality. But I needed the pose to have a little more spark, something that still gave her a signature moody energy. For the dress, I kept it slim, but I scrapped the collar and gave her like a tank top sleeves so I could bring back her classic choker, because if May's dressing up, she's still gonna wear that choker. Now, for the hair, oh boy, the hair. I tried giving her a ponytail at first to change things up, but it didn't suit her, so I switched it to 2 Dutch braids, similar to her original design, but with a little variation. In the end, it ended up being the perfect balance between familiar and fresh. Now, let's talk about the background, because this was the main reason I struggled so much. Since she was sitting, my brain immediately went to, okay, staircase. Perfect opportunity for that fancy staircase I've been waiting to use. I didn't do the one for Farah's piece, so I was like, yep, this is the time. Except, no matter what I did, it just looked wrong. Perspective didn't make sense, and it felt weirdly empty. But I kept tweaking it, erasing it, redrawing it, and it just wasn't happening, so I decided to set the background aside and work on coloring her instead. Started with her skin tone, then her robotic arm, which honestly is always one of my favorite parts to color. There's just something about getting that metal texture right that's so satisfying. Then I moved on to her dress, her classic deep red, and her brown hair, I added tons of shading, especially around the metallic parts, to give it that realistic contrast. Then came her mask. Probably the most unique part of this outfit. I designed it to look sleek but strong, something that felt both elegant and powerful, just like her. And obviously I had to keep her signature gun because May doesn't go anywhere without it. And after all that, it was finally time, so I circled back to the staircase background. I picked this kind of like brownish tan color for the stairs, added a deep blue sky, threw in some beads around the oval frame to tie it together, stepped back, and I hated it. It just didn't fit her at all. The staircase made her look out of place. It was like, I didn't know if it was like too fancy, too formal. It wasn't me. So I did what I do best. Started over again. But this time I focused only on the background. Since she was still sitting, I decided to have her be sitting on a nice little fountain out in an enchanted garden. This, I felt like, might complement her better, but I still wasn't sure. I worked a lot on shading the fountain with like some nice little blues, added some like cute little ripples and some dripping water, all that fun stuff. Added lots of bushes in the background with some little bushes with flowers surrounding the base of the fountain, and I added a little soft starry night sky with a crescent moon. I spent a while playing with like lots of shading and lighting to really make sure the atmosphere matched her mood, which is quiet, distant, but strong. Stepped back again and just kidding. I loved it. It worked so much better than the staircase ever did. It felt natural, like something she would actually be sitting in front of. Everything just clicked. The lighting, the colors, her expression, it all came together perfectly in that moment. So after all that sketching, erasing, restarting, and, suffering, May was complete. Okay, next up we have Hyoni. After that total disaster with the last one, I made sure I actually knew what I wanted this time. I did a quick little thumbnail sketch on paper, and once I felt good about it, I went in for the real deal. Now, Hyoni is the quiet archer type character, and her story is set in a snowy world, so I wanted her outfit to feel warm but still elegant. As for the pose, I didn't even know why, but I spent way too much time on the toes and then realized later that they were facing the wrong way. Oops. It's a good thing I ended up giving her boots though. For her outfit, I went with an A-line ball gown style, added a front slit, flowy mid-leg sleeves, and a hood lined with fur. I also gave her like huntress gloves, also lined with fur to match. Then came the hair, long, flowing to the side, just how I imagined from the start. As for the mask, I hadn't drawn one in the sketch, so I had to come up with one on the spot. My brain went, tree, so I literally put a tree in the center of her mask. Weirdly, it worked. Then came the usual process, resizing, outlining, adjusting, and coloring. Also, can we just take a second to appreciate her skin tone though? Like, it's warm and soft. I love it. I went for her classic green for the dress, and I added tons and tons of shading. And her hair, she's actually my only red-haired character, which I think makes her stand out so much. Then came the worst part, the fur. So much blending. My wrist and honestly my elbow were screaming by the end. Totally worth it though. For the background, I stuck with her story and made a snowy forest. I don't usually do snowy scenes, so it was fun to experiment with lots of lighting and depth this time. And honestly, it looks pretty good. As I have been doing, I added a little frame around the oval. This time I did like these little gold twig things. And in the end, this one turned out so pretty. And last, but definitely not least, we have Eliane. Now, I've got to be honest, I was kind of feeling done with this project by the time I got to her, so I might have rushed a little bit. But this one actually turned out to be one of my absolute favorites. This one was tricky though. Eliane's a knight, so I was like, what do I even do with that? Like, she's already fancy. How do I do that? She's also known for her signature amethyst blade, which ended up being a big inspiration for this design. So I started with the pose. I had her holding her sword, one hand on her hip, and it kind of ended up reminding me of Farrah's a little bit, but that's okay. And then for the outfit, I started with an A-line style skirt again, but I made the front open so you can actually see her shoes, which are, like, absolutely stunning. Like, I would totally buy her shoes. Like, you'd buy them too, right? Just kidding, but not really. I gave her lots of armor this time, a chest plate, and I even added like this armored collar thing inspired by the design I tried with May's first drawing, and honestly, I love how it turned out on Eliane's. For her hair, I did like this soft, messy braid that swoops to one side to add a bit of motion, and for her mask, I kept it simple because, yeah, at this point, I was ready to be done. But still, I didn't slack on the details. I outlined everything cleanly, made sure her outfit felt balanced, and then I started the coloring process. As always, I started with the character's skin tone, making it look nice and, I was gonna say flat, but I don't think that really works for more semi-realistic drawings. So I just added shading, and it was really simple this time around because not much of her skin is showing. Then I went with a purple base for the dress, layered it with tons of shading to make it look rich and elegant, and then I moved on to the armor. You guys know I love coloring metallic textures, so I took my time to make it nice and shiny. And let's just say, me taking my time on the armor really paid off in the end. Her hair is her usual light brown, maybe, it actually might be dirty blonde or, I don't know, depending on the lighting. And then I did her mask, her makeup, and of course, her sword, very, very pretty. As for the background, I thought about trying the staircase thing again, but then I stopped and was like, yeah, no, I don't want to go through all that pain again. So I then realized that all the other drawings had a little outdoor theme going on. So I thought I'd do that for this one, and I made a cute night scene with some stars, a nice glowing moon, lots of trees, soft grass, and this is probably the point that made the drawing take so long. But yeah. And then for the final touch, I framed it with some amethyst gems around the oval. And with that, the final Masquerade drawing was complete. And now it is time for the final reveal. I'm so happy with how each character came together. I really think these designs suit them perfectly. And it was really fun to get to draw my OCs again, even though there was some trial and error. But yeah, here they all are side by side, and thank you so much for watching this video. I love you all, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!